Okay, so we have this group of strange people that have kind of, through some subtlety, especially on the part of Shay, obtained what is called a mark, which has identified them as officials of the kingdom. They're adventurers of Paranval now. A letter of marque from Councillor Rika, one of the heads of the Council of Paranval, the sitting government of this kingdom. And with that, they were able to, they're given an assignment to report to this big old tower here in the north central part of the city. And inside of there, they met these hooded people that led them into this portal, and they entered into another world. In the other world, they found a ruined city and a pyramid and all sorts of bizarre things on the inside. They also found fabulous wealth, thousands of gold. Would you say that's true? That you guys probably have thousands of gold, maybe 2,000 gold, 3,000. Something's wrong with your mic, Steve. Yeah,
Test.
you sound far away. Anyways, yeah. So it sounds like the connection is messed up. So you guys got a bunch of treasure, and in fact, that happened where you were all with treasure, and you were all carrying this stuff, and you journeyed back out of this pyramid and across the desert and back through the portal, and all sorts of people in the city started to take an interest in you, and strange events started to happen around. And on a visit to what was called the Royal Monument, is this like seat of government of the Kingdom of Paranval, where the council sits and the councilors take session and stuff. Two of your companions start a scene and are basically chased into the streets. And you do a little side deal with somebody that has some leverage against you. And apparently, Counselor Ryko was watching. She fires you and takes the mark away. And now, another person, a dark skinned person in a toga, has asked you in the halls of the Royal Monument to accompany them with some guards. And that's where we are now. Traveling to meet in another chamber in the Royal Monument on the second floor. Let's see. Okay, so you get brought into a large. I think I'd mentioned this before. Another set of double doors into an antechamber, and there are different people along some alcoves that are talking to one another, and the guards keep you here, and they one of the guards turns to Shaw and says, "The High Counselor will meet with you soon. She has an important meeting that she has right now. But if you'll just please wait with us patiently, we'll stay with you." And there are two other people in here. What do Stodgy and Edward look like?
Edward has a short, thick brown beard, brown wavy hair. Sword and a dagger on his belt, and brown and gray and green tunic and hose arrangement. I assume I have my armor at this point.
Yeah, you have all of your equipment with you.
And wearing chain.
All right. And you all are both. Are you currently in the Navy, or are you like free agents?
I think we're out by now.
You're
I
out.
think if I was in the Navy ever, I was press ganged into it. I got out as soon as I could.
All right. And then what does Stodgy look like?
Stodgy is tall. We're over 6.5 feet. Probably fairly lean but muscular. Dressed in animal skins. I'm still trying to think about the weapon. I'm not sure what kind of weapons they have for old school essentials. But it's definitely going to be some kind of blunt instrument.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, it could be something like a big maul, like a two-handed mace, if that's what you want. Some big thing like that. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Is long, black hair, sunburnt and tanned, and nervous eyes around so many people.
All right. You all are Stodgy and Edward. You all know each other like brothers. Like you've in these weird circumstances where you've come from a completely different place. Probably being pressed into the Navy. Maybe that's what happened. You all have seen crazy things since coming to this place. You've seen ships that could float in the air. You've seen giant sea dragons that covered the horizon and that could devour whole navies and islands. Despite it all, and you fought corsairs and ships from on the other side of the far shore, away from the kingdom of Perenval. And in your adventures so far, you've survived. And made it back to shore and became the friend of the High Counselor Galby Mudbelt, who is one of the most influential people in the city. We don't know yet why that is, but that is why you're here. As High Counselor Mudbelt has asked you, as friends, to come and help her with a matter. And you see 3 people that are brought in by the guards, and these people look disgusting. They have like straps of sacks and backpacks and ichor, maybe blood, oozy gunk and stuff, all covering their clothes, and leather armors, and they're covered in just like sand and soot, and they smell bad. You have heard of these sorts, but usually they don't come to the Royal Monument like this. These are the recipients of a mark. Like, you know that. You know that they were given... They're kind of like... what do you call those? Hired pirates. What do you call that?
Privateers.
Privateer, yeah. They're like privateers, but on land. Like, they're given a mark where they're allowed to go into a place and, for the interest of the kingdom, operate as free agents. And they have weapons, and that kind of tells you that too. But they're surrounded by guards that have obviously escorted them in here, and the guards are looking at them suspiciously. What does Bashaw look like? And I do actually have Bashaw's token now too, so I'm throw that up. But still tell me about Bashaw.
Fairly short, very, very skinny. He's got dark brown clothing on. It's all fairly tattered. Over his head, he's got one of those leather peasant caps with the little things that hang down. He seems to have something of like a permanent smirk on his face. His skin, of what you can see, is very dark and tanned. He's covered with old tattoos. His eyes are dark, a little bit yellowed around the sides, and he seems to be constantly leaning on this bronze-tipped spear, just watching the world around him.
Yeah, you see this man. You also see a man with an eye patch. Tell us about Shay.
Well, Shay is an older gentleman, kind of lithe and often a little hunched over, I think, and he's got sort of a messy gray white hair and an eye patch with a painted purple eye on it, and he wears a kind of robes, but not very like flowery, majestic robes.
Flowery, majestic. All right. And then you see. I always imagine Ben being short, but then smiling and enthusiastic. I don't know, but this is Ben's
That checks
face. Yeah, tell us about Ben.
Yeah, he's a short guy. He's got kind of patchy hair on top, like not quite like he's balding, like just some of it's fallen out for various reasons. I mean, not naturally balding, but you know, that kind of patchwork hair up top, some definite bald spots randomly on top of his head. One eye is almost like cloudy green, while the other one almost has this kind of jaundice yellow kind of to it. But what stands out is it's this really just nasty scar that just looks like this big puckering wound with a black kind of dot in the head of it, which may figure out where his name comes from, is Rat Bite Ben. He's wearing he's got sort of leather armor that's kind of with almost like a coat, like a jacket over it. Not quite trench coat length, but kind of like a half trench kind of. And it's got a kind of hood to it, and it's almost kind of almost like filthy velvet kind of look to it. But it's looks like rough leather, and of course he's got a full beard, and yeah, he's pretty small guy, kind of short. Good feeling you might be able to fit, not like a halfling or anything in tight spaces, but he was probably scrawnier before, and he's put on a little weight since maybe being in Paramall.
All right, yeah. I told you they were weird. And so you're standing around, you're kind of seeing these people here in the guards, and this dark-skinned gentleman in a toga comes out of this the main chamber to another set of double doors that also has guards on the other side, and he says, "The High Counselor will see you now," and like motions you to enter the chambers.
Well, this should be good.
All right, yeah.
All right, everybody like tromps their dirty feet through in this like pristine marble and probably partially precious metal inlaid floor, and then make your way into the other side of this double doors, and the two doors like close, and there are two guards that stand silently on the inside of the door, and you have this like great big office with tall ceilings that are towering up above you. A great many books on either side of this office, and tables that are covered in what look like blueprints. And you see a a young, what looks like a dwarven woman, short, stocky, fiery red hair, and but with a beautiful toga, and she smiles as you all enter, and first she regards Stodgy and Edward, and she says, "Oh, my friends, Edward and Stodgy, it's good to see you again."
Always, my lady.
Please take a seat. Would you like something to drink? How is your high summer? This is the season of high summer currently.
Good beer.
She laughs.
I must concur.
Oh, Stodgy. Edward, all right. Simple tastes are fine tastes, I say. And she finds something to drink, and she looks over while she's doing that at Bashaw, and she says, "Allow me to introduce myself and my friends. My name is Galby, and I've been here in the city for quite some time. One of its oldest residents now. It feels so strange to say. And these are my friends Edward and Stodgy." She says that to Ben and everybody.
Bashad just kind
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Hey, gives a thumbs up. In a salute.
Bashad bows.
You look like you've seen better days.
Every day is better than the last.
Except for some of them. Like, the last few.
They were not good days.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe you're the recent holders of the mark of Councillor Ryko. A Rat Bite Ben, Bashaw, Shay, is that right? Would you like something to drink yourself?
Yeah. Waters. Well, what do you got, actually? If you got anything stronger than that, that'd be great.
Well, whatever's the most expensive thing on offer, I'd appreciate.
She sees that there's a bunch of, like, you have like crystal decanters and stuff that hold things to host people and stuff. She looks at it and she just keeps pouring the beer, and she's like, all right. And everybody can make a constitution check, just a raw one, to see if you get a benefit from the beer, unless you don't drink it.
Bashad doesn't drink.
You don't drink it, okay.
Rabbi will definitely drink it. Let's see.
I have rolled equal to my constitution.
Equal to it, great. And then whatever. Okay, you got, and you drink the
18.
beer. Shay, you drink the beer?
Yeah, whatever's.
All right.
I'll take what I can get.
Are you missing any luck points?
Am I?
Yeah.
And yes.
No, I'm asking. You have.
I just hold the luck. It was just rejiggered, so I assume not.
Okay, cool. In that case, you can take 1 hit point above your maximum for your use. You drink the beer, and it's like, oh, like it's like really good. You haven't had anything like this in a long time.
So that's if we rolled under our constitution?
Yep, everybody else that rolled under your constitution, if you're
Nice.
missing a luck point, you can gain 1, and if not, you can go 1 hit point over your maximum. This is very nice beer.
And we now have less luck, so I should only have 6, right? Is that
Right.
what-
Yeah,
Okay,
the
so
die
yeah, that's
maximum,
gonna
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not even sure what hit points I have, but
Oh, you got a D8, I think. So you'll have, so you roll a D8, and you can add your...
Didn't you say we get max hit points for the first 2 levels?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm
I think it
sorry.
was
Thank you,
max,
yeah. So, yeah, you got 8 hit points, so now you have 9. For now. That's just like a temporary hit point you get. It's nice beer. So she says, please, everyone take a seat. We have some things to talk about. I've cleared my schedule off. She moves some of the blueprints and moves them over onto her desk and stuff, and it sits down herself, and she says, the first thing I wanted to ask, some of the things that I wanted to speak to you about are very sensitive in nature. So I'm going to ask a question that might seem rude, but it's necessary. And she opens a book, and there's a glowing light that comes from it. And this misty starlight kind of fills the room a little bit. And she says, I would be interested to know your feelings about the kingdom of Parenval since your arrival. Would you say this is a good kingdom? Is it worthy of our sacrifice? What is the kingdom of Parenval to you?
I'll just say I've lived in much worse places. Good place. The sewers seem to be, or less things want to eat me when I'm down there. The people seem less, well, for the most part, are pretty nice. A couple of have some beefs with some of your wealthier types. No offense to current, company by any means, of course, but you might keep an eye out on some of your companions or if you're on the council. But for the most part, pretty good. I'd give it a thumbs up.
You mean Counselor Crew?
Yeah, I can't say that. I don't want to talk ill of any of your coworkers or whatever, but yeah, I'll talk ill of them. But we should probably not go into that.
Well, I would be very interested to know, Ben. Since Counselor Ryko has accused all of you of high capital crime, and that you're in violation of your mark that you've all sworn your lives to.
I'm going to look around nervously.
Yeah. As far as that goes, I was under the impression Crew being a member of the council. Well, I'll just say, turns out he's maybe not on the up and up, and he's got some shady dealings that he seems to be trying to use us as leverage to maybe undercut some goals of the council, from what I understand.
Those are very serious accusations, Ben. Do you have any proof of this?
In fact, I think I got, kind of the... Of course, that was in a flashback, so I don't know if that... but I did snag that those documents off his desk. So I don't know if I've had a chance to read them yet. But I did get some incriminating
I'll say
documents.
that you read them, yeah.
Okay. About how he was trying to basically find ways to not have adventurers go out. Was that, I believe, he was trying to...
Yeah, basically he was trying to find a way to stop marks from being issued and adventurers from returning. Yeah. Exactly.
And it sounds like maybe we turned out to be his scapegoat to try and get that effect done. So he's been trying to find ways, put through the documents, kind of like I'm trying to refresh my memory. Something about he's trying to undercut the council and stop you guys from sending out adventurers. And oh, lo and behold, we get in trouble and get our mark revoked and we just happen to have been talking to the guy who's looking for an excuse to get adventurers, not to get marks.
We definitely didn't do it, but if we did, it was a setup.
Could I take a look at those documents? Is this correspondence? And she takes a look at it, and she...
By all means.
She flips through it, and she says, this is damning indeed. And it just so happens that it's very fortuitous for what I wanted to propose to all of you. Councilor Raiko, you should know, is a friend of mine, and I believe she's a good woman. She has long had the sense, the humans that have come here in the past decades, the people that were originally on the council, the demi-humans, they felt that they're short-sighted. But Raiko feels like the city is a little too traditional, a little too harsh. Now, Councilor Raiko, my friend, she hasn't seen what I've seen. You haven't seen what I've seen. The things that have happened here ages ago. The wonders and nightmares that are in the belly of this place, of this world. There are horrors here, and those elves and halflings that have sat in the council or with the merchants guild for a long time now, they remember those times. But Councilor Raiko's heart is in the right place, and she wanted to take a chance on you. She was very disappointed. But it seems, and she holds up the documents, it seems that maybe her hopes, maybe there's been a misunderstanding. And I think Councilor Raiko has already moved to press charges. And there are a few things that do need to be resolved. But I think I would like to take a risk also. But it's a risk that comes with my own request. What is it that you want? Is it treasure? Glory? Do you serve gods? Why take the mark? And this whole time she's been talking to Shay and Bashaw and Ben, and which is like Stoggy and Edward. You're just like, why are we here? You know, like she hasn't even addressed that yet. Maybe because she, you know, like you thought you needed the muscle. Like, are these people going to be? Are they criminals? You know, I don't know, but like, yeah, it hasn't been made clear yet.
Ratbite will kind of look around at his companions like, what are we? Because I want a good drink, a nice place to sleep, good company to keep, nobody stabbing you in the back. What more could you ask for? I can't speak for my friends here.
All of those are fine. My compatriot Ben is a man of fine taste. But I myself am after a magic mastery of magical, you know, wave my fingers around. Ooh. I don't know how it works that much, and I want to change that, or it's too late.
And what about you, Bashaw?
I think in classic Bashaw manners, he just kind of shrugs.
Well said.
It's not a man of many. I don't think he has any idea why he's doing anything.
Ben, I certainly understand that. I like those things myself, but much like me, I think destiny has other plans for you. Whether you liked it or not, there are some things happening in the city, and you've been implicated. I can change this with Councilor Raiko, who I need to speak with. There are robed figures in the streets. There are things that have been happening near you. You know anything about do you know anything about the fire in the upper market? near Grosvenor Street.
I believe we passed by it. Seems an unfortunate business.
Yeah, we did witness it. I can't say that I at least have any insight.
Well, strange things are happening around you. I don't know that I can guarantee your safety here now. And I don't know that you can have that thing that you're looking for here. And what's worse is you're already tied to this mark. So I can only think of one solution. Even though you're not prepared, I think it's time that you be sent on campaign. Now, and I already discussed this with you all, but Stodgy and Edward, you know that like people that are under a mark, a letter of mark, sometimes they'll do work around the city as agents of the city and stuff nearby. But then you also have, there's this kind of like aspect of like Roman commanders where they'll be sent out far away and be sent to do some great diplomatic feat or some heroic deed, you know, in some faraway place. And then they'll come in and they'll be fabulously wealthy. Like you'll see these like older people like coming back into the city and establishing their base of wealth afterwards. It is a thing of high peril that she's discussing, basically, but it's sending out a small group of 5 people, you know, instead of an army to accomplish something huge in the world. And these people are not prepared for that. But that's what she's talking about. And she says, I think you'll need to be sent out. I want to arrange, after I speak with Councilor Ryko, to take over your mark. But and then she turns to Stodgy and Edward and she says, my friends, your exploits at sea, I think this might be an opportunity for you as well, as your past is going to be catching up with you soon. So I thought of you. And as much as I would hate to see you leave the city, I think that if you stay, you might also come into danger. Where I would have you go is also dangerous, I won't lie. But you also have the chance to make a place for yourself in the world. And I believe that is something that you can do. And I also want to ask for your help.
With what, Mom? If you don't mind me asking.
And I've talked to them about this, but basically the city of Perrinval is this like Magitech kind of place. There's this main boulevard that cuts kind of through the city. The whole thing is on a cliffside. It kind of goes uphill. The whole thing is about a half mile across and maybe 2 miles east to west or so along the coast. And this cliff overlooks the coast, and there's this huge tower that towers over the rest of the city. And then there's these like Babylonian style blocky kind of square structures that tower several stories above the others. And then mixed in beneath them are all kinds of like older buildings and gardens and stuff like that. And so I don't think any of your characters would know this. But she says, my people, the dwarves, and you've noticed you haven't seen any dwarves. For whatever you know what a dwarf is. She says, we possess a talent, and I was just a small girl when the last war came to the city. The city was in ruins, but we rebuilt, and I learned about my people here. in the Vale. I'm not sure where. I've had responsibilities here, Stodgy and Edward. I haven't been able to leave. The main thoroughfare, all of the defenses, everything, they've depended on my ability to build the walls to the city. But someday, if I pass, no one else will be able to build these things. There's something about my bloodline, about my people, about the dwarves. We're able to do this. And if we don't find more of my kind and figure out what happened to them and set them back in their place in the world and bring them to Perrinval City, into our employ, reunite them with the kingdom, eventually this kingdom will fall. I'm sure you've heard the rumors on the streets, but there are enemies all around us that want to undo us.
So world, I thought I came from a mad world. This world is mad. My lady, no offense.
None
The only thing I've ever wanted was to get home. But I think maybe I'd have a better chance at that away from here.
That might be possible also.
Though it would sadden me to leave my new friend, and you're the only friend besides Stodgy that I've had in this place.
This is a mad place. Oh, go ahead.
I must get back to my people as well, but you've been good to us, and I can't imagine leaving you without helping.
Thank you. The mark that I'll draft for you, you'll have to finish Councillor Ryko's mark under my authority. So you'll need to return under our laws to the tower, and you'll need to finish that mark. Once you do, come back to me here, and I'll draft the new mark. The campaign will send you to a place far away, a place that none of our agents or spies have accessed, and it's a one-way trip. I don't know how far away it is or where it is, but you'll need to explore the new land, and in accordance with the mark, seek to, diplomatically if possible, align that land with the Kingdom of Perrinval and bring it under our authority. And my personal request that you won't find in the mark is to find the fate of my people. And a solution for whatever caused that fate, if possible. And then return here.
Then bow.
She bows too, and she says, there's something else that I'm personally not so great at. I remember my friend Yelsa, before she passed away. She was very good at these things, but there's someone else outside that will need to go over the details of the mark with you. And then you'll need to finish the mark that you have. Thank you. I hope that you can. I hope you can help me with this. What do you say, Shay and Basha and Ben? Will you allow me to draft a new mark for you?
For me,
I'll clear up this trouble with Councillor Ryko, I think. There is the matter of taxes and fees. But apart from that, you should be good to go.
House.
All right.
For me,
she bows and she says, "The All-Father bless you and be with you." And then the guards open the doors, taking this as the sign to exit. And there are other guards outside, and they step up, and there are other people that want an audience and everything. And so they offer to escort you out to the front of the royal monument.
What will do first? Perhaps the baths?
The baths, yes, the quest for the baths. It's been, it seemed like such a reasonable decision to not bathe before coming here, but that's just we get reminded of it every few seconds.
Yeah, you learn something new sometimes.
Yeah.
You're talking about this, and then there's a person with a single spectacle and another toga, an older person. It's like, oh, hello. My name is Albert, and I was supposed to go over the matter of Ribbit for some of the things about this mark that you have.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, have at it, Albert.
Let's hear it, old timer.
let's
Don't worry,
do
we won't spit in your face like some of the other people might.
No punching old people or tripping
You're
them
safe
or
with us.
stomping on
Don't
their
worry.
feet.
If you're anxious.
It's okay. It's
I
episode
heard
43.
terrible things. I heard there was a group of adventurers that came in here just today, and why they roughed up a friend of mine. Can you believe that?
We saw a little bit of that. Terrible people. We're not
can't-
associated with them at all.
I mean,
I'm
what's
sure-
the city coming to, right?
I know. I don't know the future of this city with those sorts of people. Let's see. Yes. Looking. Aha.
Was
Yes.
short-tempered.
Very well. Now, the matter of your taxes and fees for what you had obtained during your first excursion. Right. So, let's see. First, we have the tolls for the use of the bridges and roads in the city. That would be a toll of a flat fee of given the task of 50 gold. And then, because you did access the tower, of course, and then you came to the royal monument, and then apparently there's a fee because, an out of character, what's it called? A sumptuary fee, yes, because, well, you're not exactly, and he looks at you like how nasty you are and everything. Yes, and I'm so sorry, but apparently there's a fee of 10 gold for that. And then I have, yes, I have the duties that should be paid. Now, that's a single price as well of 200 gold pieces. And then we have the tax for your excursion. Now, there are two different taxes and a surtax. The total for that would be 25% of your valuables that you had obtained. Apparently, this is all in arrears, is what I've been told.
Kind of looking at
Grandpa's just
Bite.
staring at him like, what are you, like, just blank stare. Like,
Bashaw leans in, Ratbite. I don't recall having any valuables.
I mean, we're covered in shit. What do you think we got?
And you're like moving as you say that, and you lean down like chink, like there's like these bags of like gold coins and like
Where else are you supposed to store your spare chainmail,
gold
right?
masks and stuff. Yeah,
We brought those from home.
obviously
Can't-
carrying giant bags of treasure around the city.
I'm afraid that our assets are not quite liquid at the moment. Could we get back to you on that?
Oh, yes, of course. You know, I know someone in the Bergs that could help with that.
That'd be wonderful.
Yes, let me get you a name and a street number. Let's see, and he flips through his stuff. Yes. Old Vin Mowbray. Vin Mowbray, if you take down to cross the upper market, through the old farthing, into the burgs. 4 businesses down on the left. There you are. And then he hands you like a invoice or something with like all the stuff that you owe and everything.
Yeah, thank you very much. Excellent.
Well, you were delightful. Thank you so much. And I Our Father bless you. And then like he bows and like walks off.
Job out.
All right.
It's supposed to be a
Yeah,
good thing when
just-
they say that, right? Because it's starting to sound maybe. No, anyway.
I'm deciding I hate this city.
Right. Do you have any underworld connections who could liquidate our assets who are less taxing? Is there anyone else we could talk to?
Yeah,
I would happily pay protection money.
Yeah.
I think that you just burned your bridges into at least part of the criminal world. But I don't know if
was
you
that
have
with
any
cream?
others. Yeah.
Oh,
Didn't
yeah.
we make bridges in other parts of the criminal
I was
world?
like, I was part of the criminal world, and he was my hook to get out of it in the first place. But he was kind of shaking me down because of my attachment to the criminal world. So I don't know if I have any other connections from before him. So.
That'll teach you to become legitimate.
I thought I triggered Caleb with the horror stuff. Now I've really
No, that was
taxes. Now
distasteful. This is just like
this is absolute-
So this treasure is for personal use. So.
Yeah.
It was a gift.
just put
Weird.
that invoice in the bag.
License.
Foot.
No, I
I
know
have,
what it means.
an ancient artifact collector's license.
I have the
So
mind to convert to Church of Zerog Morn because they're anti-taxes, but no one knows what that means. But okay.
I there were a few things on the list. One is the day is still young enough that, but you are all with treasure and you're carrying it around, but you're currently at the Royal Monument. You have the tower, but if you went back in there, you would be with treasure, so you wouldn't be able to get more treasure, or you'd need to find some way of caching it or trying to get it out, etc. Another option that was mentioned was going to get a number of mules, donkeys, horses, wagons, etc. And I think also Shay will need to spend a week in town. Although another thing of note is it takes a long time to recover hit points. So Shay received a blessing from the Maidens of Tempest last time that allowed the hit points to come back. But, if you lose hit points, that could be a chance before you go on the campaign to go learn the spell in the tower, because that takes a week. What else is going on that we had? I think that's it. The potion guy, Oleg or Koza, is in Defender's Hill at the Swirling Cauldron.
Where are the bats?
The baths.
I feel like we've got a Maslow's hierarchy of needs situation, and I'd like to bathe.
So that would definitely be in the Golden Nut Entertainment Complex, Defender's Hill.
Aww.
I get to have a vintage style bath.
Yeah, you could do vintage, or you could do like a Magitech steam bath. It depends on how much money you want to spend.
During the time, I'm going to run and take the dog out. Be right back.
Okay. It's weird. At first, I thought that was in character. Which, by the way, you can,
I'm so sorry.
Could be.
you can get dogs. That is not a bad idea, actually, also, is training dogs.
I don't have any money because I took the starting equipment pack,
Right.
so I'm going to have to save up for a couple of things, I think.
Everything in this town is really expensive, except food and housing.
If we get a wagon, are we even going to be able to get the wagon into the portal? Or is that more of a park? No, never mind. No, I kind of used brain power and solved it myself. Never mind.
The city also does have banks. Anyways, the baths. So that's the first thing. So do you go to Defender's Hill, Shay? Is that the plan? Everybody's
Yes,
going to go get
I
a
would
bath?
like to check all requisite boxes in order to achieve bathed status.
What do you all tell Stodgy and Edward on the way there? Meanwhile, while I roll and see what happens when you travel to the bath.
The Shah will not be partaking in the fancy
The baths are mandatory.
So, let's see. Okay. That plus that. Okay. A couple of things happen, but before I do that, what do you all? What are you? So you're walking. Do you do you take like the tram, or do you walk there?
That's a great question. I'd like to group huddle everyone. We need to come to a strategic decision.
I'm fine walking, but I'm happy with whatever.
No, you gotta think bigger picture. Are we going to stash this stuff somewhere before the tax man gets it? Or are we gonna spend it all before the tax man catches us?
I like that second option.
Okay,
Yeah.
tram it is.
I was thinking drinking, but that works too. All right.
Whatever the most expensive stuff in this town is, we're gonna hit it all.
And now the adventure of tax evasion begins.
To be fair, at this point, I'm a little because we had a lot of gear, and now after we got a lot of this goods, we know we're all with treasure pretty much. But now we have this guideline that is 10 items that we can carry.
Yeah, so I'm not,
you're not nitpicking.
Like right now, you're just with treasure. Like,
gotcha, yeah.
But after you are not with treasure, the next thing is you can carry 10 items, including bundles, plus your con and strength bonuses.
Gotcha. So I'm up for liquidating this stuff as fast so we can get to not having to worry about. So we can get to just keeping track like we will ongoing. So whatever it takes to get there.
So step 1. Baths. Step 2, this guy we were just directed to liquidate the non-liquid assets. Step 3, carousing. And then we can see where it goes from there.
Need to restock up on supplies and stuff like that for the adventure. And then if we've got a week, Bashaw is pretty much spending the whole time in an opium den, so...
Absolutely.
This is bad stuff, so it's just kind of what he does. Like, you gave me money?
All right.
At this point, Ozzy looks over at Edward like, who the fuck are these guys?
The only correct reaction.
Yeah, all this stuff is said out loud.
Oh yeah, you're with us now. Well, come on.
Well, I mean, okay, but Bashaw, Shay, Ben, what's the deal? Like, tell them what is going on. You got these people here now that are with you. What
Yes. Let us tell our story. We are exactly who we appear to be, and we have just spent the past. Let me look at my watch. I don't know how time works. In an underground pyramid, stealing all this from people, most of whom are no longer still alive. Welcome to the team.
I can't say that's entirely wrong.
I don't think there are any other important details.
Pretty much.
Hey.
What are your opinions on grave robbing?
Oh my gosh.
Because that's not cool, right?
Unless...
but we're, it belongs in a museum. I think that's what we decided, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, so you can do the tax evasion, but just recall there are only 2 alignments: lawful and neutral. But you can do the tax evasion. I'm okay with that. I don't know why I'm okay.
I mean,
with that.
if
But I am.
if you're robbing an undead grave, I guess it's
Really need
Not
to
a really-
replace that with a good alignment system one day.
All right, so you take the tram. That is 10 gold pieces for all your stuff and everybody. So minus 10 gold pieces for the tram. Who's paying?
What is our? Do we have like a party pot? Pot for the party?
I think everything's in the party pot.
Excellent. So I'll write down our expenses.
We do need a treasurer. Who wants to be a treasurer? Or who is the treasurer? Because it was Sean, and Sean's gone. Did you guys freeze? Oh, wait. No, okay.
That's a strategic problem.
Well, I've got everything from last time. I could be the treasurer as well.
Thank you. XP bonus for Steve, treasurer.
Didn't work. All right.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Okay, so
Seven.
because you took the tram, nothing seems to happen. And you quickly arrive back at the place, and as you pass by, you can see smoke billowing up from one of the suburbs here, from buildings that have burned down just today, and the stop is just shortly after that, the tavern that you were staying at for that night. If you go into that entertainment complex, it will not be hard to find baths if that's your goal. So you see what would you call it? An arcade. It's like 3 levels. It's these Babylonian, kind of like square type structure things, And ziggurat, is that you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's stairs that go up them, and then you can go into them. And so there's just multiple layers of debauchery to be had here. You've got baths, you've got taverns, nothing like an opium den. This is the nice part of town. But you've got cheap baths and public baths, and then you have private baths.
The expensive baths, please.
The expensive baths. Okay. Let's see here. Nice. Okay. So, you can tell that because there are people out front that are enjoying wine. They're dressed really well, and then the gardens that are out front, and the kind of manufactured waterfalls and effects and things, whether it's mechanical or magical. That place over there is really nice. So you do see a place that's really looks really expensive. That's a bath, and there are attendants out front that are taking that can help you. You see a person with dark skin and a well-trimmed, bushy beard and big bright eyes.
Yeah, I'd like to sort of wave at them and snap my fingers a few times.
They look and they say, they bow slightly and they say, "Oh, Father, bless you. Would you like to attend, or would you like to come into Enola's bath today, good people?"
Yes.
Well, that would be quite a bit of gold if you would like to do that.
Perfectly fine.
I see. Very well, if you'll follow me. And he leads you into this place where there are you no longer hear this stuff because it's nice in here. Do you have anything relaxing enough anymore for this? Let's see, maybe. This Peace in the Realm. That's too exciting. Anyways, you go into this place and there are like cushions, and there are people getting massages, and there are people playing music, and he takes you into the back where there are stone chambers and stacks of towels and things, and he says, you can place your belongings here, and here's some robes, and please let me know when you're ready. That will be 250 gold, though.
Shake my head. Keep my arms crossed.
That is a preposterous amount of gold, but I'm somewhat comforted because now I feel like they won't rob us because they're robbing us.
That is a good way to talk. That is a good. That's a good way to describe that. I'm not rolling the dice right now. You taking it out of the pot? Minus 250 gold?
Yeah, I wrote it. Down.
Okay. It smells lovely in here. Floral herbs, and it's just this heady scent, and you can feel your muscles already like beginning to just unbundle in this place. And you're able to put a big lock even on the door, and you feel perfectly safe. Like your stuff is perfectly safe here in this place. So, they take you down into, after you put your robes on, except for Bashaw, you said you're not going into the bath. So what are you doing?
I hang out with Edward and got your name written down. Stodgy.
Okay.
Stogie? What is it again? I got to write this down properly.
So there's a little bit of a funny situation here where you're all with treasure. So do you just keep your treasure, like your portion of the treasure, Bashaw?
I guess I'm just kind of watching over everything. I'm kind of imagining it more of a.
Oh, you're gonna go in the bathhouse, but you're not gonna disrobe. You're just gonna stay in that room.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. And is that what you plan to do, Stodgy and Edward? Or do you also want to partake? No?
Any treasure.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, he has like initiation. Take a bath with us. I don't know. That's weird.
No,
that's a little weird.
You're new. Just take it all off. We're
No,
really getting to know each other.
No, that's fine.
Classic bonding experience.
I just wanted to not have to keep looking and smelling at the things I was looking and smelling.
No secrets between new members.
All right. So
Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to help us force the ranger to take a bath. We outnumber him.
He's his own man.
He's just kind of leaning on his spear as usual. Shrugs again.
all right. So Ben and Shay are taking a bath, right? Going into the bathhouse.
Yep. He said he just wants the comforts, and this can't get better than this.
I'll say that's 200 gold pieces then, not 250. Okay. So, you're led down in robes into a kind of like an underground area. You have to take some stairs down, and there are these large pools where you're able to disrobe. Partially, because we don't do that stuff in my game. And
tastefully placed bubbles at all
tastefully, yes. But there are all sorts of other people in here, and it feels amazing. Like maybe really uncomfortable at first, and then just like wow, like every muscle fiber in your body is able to just like unwind for once. And especially for poor Shay, who's like old at this point, and who's been through so much. There's not been anything this luxurious that you've experienced probably in your whole life. And then someone brings around wine. And the wine tastes amazing. And you can make a constitution check.
That's for any of us in the baths, or just
In the baths, yeah.
Yeah.
I've rolled under my constitution.
All right, nice.
I did not.
All right, so Shay, you gained another temporary hit point for 2 temporary hit points. For as long as you're in the city. Or until you go to sleep. Okay, so you're doing this, and you're able to like just naturally get this grime off of you, and then you kind of like go into like you go and you cool down, and then they bring you some more wine, and they bring you some more towels, and then they bring you into another bath and stuff, and it's just this whole experience. At one point you're in a bath, and there's a woman there, and at this point you guys no longer look like scum, you know, like like you look like obviously you're meant to be there. Yeah, and because people look odd anyways, and so you have Shay in particular, you've got your eye patch. I assume you don't take that off?
Yeah, no, that's got to stay on.
Okay. There's a woman in this bath after you've rotated a couple times, and she says, "Hello. I don't recognize you, but I frequent these baths. Are you new in town? Did you just arrive here in Perrinval?"
Yes, we're visiting, just coming from a far off land. You probably haven't heard of it, called the Senedikia.
Senedikia?
It's not quite in its heyday anymore, but quite a sight all the same.
I'm very sorry to hear that. I've never heard of Senedikia. You must have come through the merchant gate then.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, there were gates involved.
It was merchants, yeah. We were selling stuff, yeah.
You're a merchant?
Lots of things to sell. You know, lots of money to move.
Yeah, you into antiques?
I could be interested in some antiques. I have fancied some antiques. I've been looking lately, and I have something that I could trade that might be an interest of you. My name is Aaliyah, by the way. What are your names?
Is it weird to shake hands in the bath? Rabbi Ben, nice to meet you.
Oh, yes. And she like tentatively shakes your hand.
I am Shay the Seer.
Shay, and a seer too.
Yep.
So talented. I am actually a purveyor of hunting and service birds. I'm quite proud of it. Aaliyah's birds. They're, you won't find any like it in the city. No other falconer sells birds like I do. And so, if you want quite an interesting item, I'm here in Defender's Hill. We could set up some potential trades. I could look at what you have to offer.
Are you only offering birds in trade, or could we perhaps get gold on offer, more liquid asset? I wish to offend your craft, but
no, my business focuses on hunting and falconry, but and other birds of service, message birds, even war birds, birds that are used in fighting. No, I suppose if you're looking to simply liquidate into the local market, you might either consider going to the merchant gate where you came in. There's always people from other lands looking for items that are brought into Pernval City. Or you could go into the burgs where there's buyers that might liquidate. There are some odd buyers that you might find in Monster Town as well. Eclectic tastes in that part of town, you know.
I don't suppose you've heard of old Vin Malbury. He's been recommended to us before, but I can't say I know much of him.
Oh, yes. Well, I have heard of him. He's actually he works for the council. And I wouldn't say that he gives the best prices, to be honest with you.
Do you have perhaps a competitor of his in mind that you're referring to that would give superior rates?
And at this point, she catches your tone. She feels like you're trying to kind of like, attain some trade secrets of like under the table options. And she sees like another friend of hers. She's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Excuse me. It was a delight to meet you." And then she's like, turns away.
To be fair, I was actually kind of interested in a bird.
Oh, well, please come see us. Aaliyah's Birds.
Aaliyah's Birds. Okay, because was a bird in hand, so to speak, maybe better than gold.
Worth a few more than those in bushes, I hear. Is your business near here?
Yes, just 2 blocks down nearby, just across from the entertainment complex.
It's a delight to make your acquaintance. Certainly hope to see you shortly.
Let's see. Ooh, how do we get rid of that?
You definitely can't tax a bird. That'd be ridiculous.
That's what I was thinking. It's hard to tax. And
on the other hand, I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, my gosh, for using roads.
And I will get back to Stodgy and Edward and Bashaw next time. But that is it for tonight.